Here, just want to show all you Mac users how to figure out what IP address has been assigned to your device. Now, NDI kind of assumes that you're running on the same subnet as your computer and as your studio and all that, so that you're all within the same 255.255.255 subnet. And LanScan is a great little program on Mac that can help us determine what MAC addresses are associated with IP addresses. Now, the free version that's on the Apple Store right now as of 2021 is pretty good. It will allow you to see the IP addresses and the MAC addresses of the devices. It won't give you all the information of all devices, but that's okay. We can use this just for gathering data, because on the bottom of your camera or on the side on a sticker on the device, for the most part, the MAC address is printed. This is with the exception of the keyboard, and there might be a couple of extra hoops you got to jump through to figure out what IP address has been assigned to the keyboard. But LanScan will at least ping the network and find out who is on what IP address and what MAC they're associated with. So you download it. It looks like this, and you can customize the scan range that you want to use if you want, but it grabs your current subnet, and you just hit start. I do warn you, please make sure this is allowed on your network, because you are going to be pinging all devices and acquiring their IP addresses. So make sure that your IT department is aware if you have one. And also then when we hit start, it just checks all 254 addresses basically and says, okay, these are the ones that came back with MAC addresses associated. And then we can kind of like look through the information. So like here, if we look, this all says upgrade to the Pro version to get all this information. We don't need to upgrade to the Pro version. This one actually tells us what the DNS name is, which is the name that I've named this P100. There's also another BirdDog device down here, which is actually the 153 is a PF120. So I've got a broad range, and I know what my MAC address is of my camera. And so if I find the MAC address, then I can say, oh, it's 153. So then I can go to my web browser here and 192.168.1.153 and hit enter, and it takes me to the web UI. And then I put in my super secret password, and it takes me over here then to the actual PF120. That is, where I can do the updates here on the system menu, or I can change the AV, picture quality and all that sort of stuff and get to work. So if you don't know what IP address your camera has been given, this is a quick, easy way to figure that out. Now, as always, we prefer DHCP for the ability to plug into the network and get going, but to make sure the network is aware of, the NDI device. So fight the temptation to set everything to static, because that will cause additional issues. But if you leave it in DHCP and the products come out of the box in DHCP, you plug it in, but you don't know what IP address has been associated, and you're on a Mac or you're a Mac exclusive studio, you can use LanScan, find all the IPs on your subnet, and then you just find the MAC address that's associated. And if you don't know what the MAC address is, you can literally click through and just try these IPs. So 1.21, 1.23, they all say BirdDog at the beginning, right? So, and you'll notice BirdDog's range. So 801F12 are PF120s, and are P100s and 200s, and A200s and A300s. So that chip is all the same. So you'll notice some consistencies there. And then there's a new chip that we're using in the PF120, and so that's 682719. And so if you have multiples, you can just look down the list for those, the things that begin there, and then check and try the IP addresses inside a web UI. So again, if I were to pick this one here, 801F12, that is 1.15, so 192.168.1.15. Whoops. 0.15, and oh look, it's the P100, and so I can put in my password here, and I can manipulate everything, do all the updates and all that sort of good stuff. So that's how you quick and easy get into your device using a Mac, and when you don't know what the IP address is. All right, hopefully that's helpful. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.